Oh, baby.
Welcome back to another episode, everybody. This is Dudes of the Round Table. A little bit of a different episode from our usual programming. Obviously, as you can see on video at the moment, we're missing old Jakey boy. He is away at the moment, saying farewell to a few friends.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make sure we're still able to have a special moment for a very special episode. For those of you that follow through in the metal community, probably been everywhere on social media as well, have obviously heard of the sad passing of Joey Jordison at the age of 46 in his sleep. We felt the need that we wanted to pay our respects, to such an amazing drummer, musician, and human being. Me personally, coming from a band that, I quite largely idolized and loved a lot of their music as well. And Joey had, one of the coolest masks in the band, of course, as well. A big reason why I wanted to put this together, even though we couldn't have poor Jakey here as well. But we've got another familiar face in the house. Brady here, if you guys listen back to episode 1, he was our very, very first guest back when we were incredibly cringe.
That's a segment.
Whether that's about
incredibly cringe.
Whether that's a reflection on us or if it's a reflection of Brett, I don't know.
I'm
proud of being a part of the cringe era.
But yeah, so thank you for taking some time to join us today, Brady.
Thank you so much for having me.
But we wanted to kind of do something special here because I know for me, music-wise, Slipknot was a big influence. I love Joey's drumming, the cool shit he used to do live and stuff like that. But for both you guys, which is particularly why I wanted to put this together with both of you.
Yeah.
Obviously, growing up with both of you guys in high school, seeing how much of an influence it was for you guys musically, and also as an inspiration, I guess, in a way, and an influence with your drumming as well. I wanted you guys to kind of, I guess, share your fond memories, thoughts, stuff like that. And we'll run down memory lane with some favorite golden oldies. I feel like this is like 6PR or something like that.
This is your life. No, you're right, Ray. This is going to be a different episode, but more like a homage and a tribute episode to the late Joey Jordison, as you just said, Ray. And I'm looking forward to this, man. Like it's been a rough couple of days, like processing what's just happened. Like, yeah, you're right, man. Like to not only many people around the world, but me and Brett in particular as being drummers. Joey was a god to us growing up, man. He was one of the biggest influences on my drumming and my musical style and all that sort of stuff, And this one definitely hit hard for me, man. Like waking up and getting a message from, I think it was my auntie was the first person to send me a message saying, Joey Jordison, no, sad face. I'm like, what does this mean? So I'm like, all right, let me just jump on social media real quick and see what's going on. Yeah, and you just see like every second post is just R.I.P. Joey, and my heart just fucking broke, man. And it was rough for me, man. Like, we've lost a few musicians here and there that have kind of, hit in the feels, but this one really hit hard for me, man. And I'm still trying to process it, and I'm sort of coming to terms like this is real now. One of the gods of metal is gone now, so so this is going to be a bit of a, like you said, delve down memory lane and just a bit of a reminisce to Joey Jordison, and I'm looking forward to sharing some stories from the past to now.
What
about you, Reddy? What were you doing? How did you find out?
Through friends chat on Facebook Messenger.
Was it Gemma?
Yeah, true.
Gemma. Our friend Gemma posted something saying no, and I just saw that in the little pop up on my phone, and I was thinking, oh shit, Mark Hoppus has died because obviously he's got stage 4 cancer at the moment.
Shit.
Which
that's
touch
rough.
wood. I read a post today that Tom has said that he's actually doing all right, which is good. So
okay.
I really? I haven't seen that. That's good.
He
news.
said he's beating it at the moment, and it's going away slowly but surely. So hopefully, we
shed some white light on your Mark.
Yeah,
we love
positivity going his way. But Gemma sent the message, and I read it. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that Joey would actually be coming back to the band because some recent videos and interviews Joey's done said that he'd be happy to go back if they let him. You know what I mean? So,
I think we're all kind of waiting for that at some point. Hopefully, I like wishful thinking.
It's funny.
shame.
Like I think about my dad and him getting really upset when Steve Irwin died and when Peter Brock, the Holden racer, died. And looking at him when I was a young fella saying, why are you upset? Like, you don't even know these people. But, we're getting older now and our heroes that have influenced us growing up are starting to pass, which sucks, kind of means we're getting old. But like when Chester passed was really hard for a lot of us, I know. Not
Chester
just
from
me.
Linkin Park,
That was insane.
That was hard. That was like one of the first rock bands I
You were the first person I called after hearing that. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, I'm listening to Triple J, and they
6 in the morning, and I was
like,
still sleeping. And I was
what?
Trying to wake up, like, what are you talking about? And this one as well, Rob Williams, Joey Jordison. Really hit me quite hard, because as Ray said, me and Chris are both drummers, and we looked up to this guy massively growing up.
Definitely.
Massively.
Like if you were asking me what are my top 3 or top 5 drummers, like Joey's like up there and like probably the top 2, or at least in the top 3, this one really hit home. Like Chester was a hard loss to take, because he was an idol for us too. Like Linkin Park. When you look back on like our musical taste from growing up, like the big 3 were Slipknot,
Korn.
Linkin Park, and Korn, pretty much.
Those 3.
Yep. Chester was a hard one, but this one has hit me really, really hard with Joey. I think it's from a drummer perspective, or maybe I don't know.
Can I just say, Chris, something about you growing up?
What's that? The first of many stories. Here we go.
Yeah, well, no, just the people that you idolize and look up to. You really took that shit on, man. Like even to the point
He did,
even to the point of the style. Like I remember you were doing the whole David Severia thing where you're putting tips in your hair and and pulling your socks up. You had a Tama. You're trying hard to be that person, but just because they influence you so much.
They did, man.
And it's a good thing. And you went through your Joey phase. You grew your hair long. You dyed it. You had your labret piercing. You had his sticks.
They were bad for your wrists, but you still had his sticks.
It's just cool, It's just cool to have those heroes and influencers growing up and seeing how much they impact your life. And now that they go, it's understandable why you get so upset.
It is, man. Like even going through that at work, just kind of processing what's just happened. Like, oh man, I've lost one of my heroes, one of my idols growing up. Like, and I was just processing it all day at work, and I even had my boss call me because we found out the news on Wednesday morning, and my boss called me yesterday at work, and he was like, "Oh, hey man, I just wanted to touch base with you on Wednesday. You seemed a bit down, like something was wrong." And I said, "Yeah, to be honest with you, I'll tell you up straight what it was. Is just I've lost, the world's lost a great musician, and like he meant a massive deal to me, especially growing up, and it just really hit me, and I was just kind of processing it, and I was really upset and down, and that's what I was going through that day, and that's why I probably seemed a bit off and a bit sad, just kind of processing the whole loss.
Understandable.
And I thought that was really nice of him to reach out and ask what was going on. So
not a lot of bosses do that, man.
No. But I'm sure many people are going through the whole realization and the whole process of dealing with the fact that he's gone and all that, as well as his bandmates. I can imagine what his bandmates and what the guys from Slipknot will be thinking and going through, and his family too, man. Like, so yeah, death. It's a weird thing, man. It triggers and brings up a whole lot of things. Makes you think about life and just a whole bunch of things. I know for me it does anyway. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else out there that's obviously dealing with the sad loss of Joey, and obviously anybody that's had as big of an influence from him, just know that he's, you're not alone. A lot of us are
definitely not,
mourning his loss, and look at it in a positive light. Mr. Positive over here as well. Anything negative, I turn it around.
Bring it on, Ray.
If someone has mourned this much when you don't know them personally, but they're an idol as well at the same time, it was obviously a goddamn fucking good magician. Magician? Fuck!
He might have been, you never know.
Musician! I'm so sorry. What the fuck? Musician. A goddamn good musician.
Look at him. He was, man. He was a master of his craft, man. Absolutely. Like,
you try to play.
I will say
like
any day he will go down as one of the greatest drummers of all time.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
Fuck it. He was an amazing magician as well. Like, because he was just amazing at the drums. Like,
oh, dude, yeah. It was not only a great drummer, he was really good on the guitar. He could play bass, and I'm sure he could play a whole bunch of other instruments.
What was his other band name? The Murder Dolls or something?
He was in the Murder Dolls in between Iowa and Subliminal Verses. He jumped on that, like with Corey, you know,
doing nice
revitalized the band Stone Sour and brought them back together. And Joey did the Murder Dolls, and he's done a few projects even since the departure from Slipknot. He's done a lot of projects. Like
last one was Vimic, eh?
Vimic was one of them. Scar the Martyr was another one.
Cool name, man.
And Sinsanum was another band he was in. And there could be more. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that was all heavy as fuck music. So and his style of drumming just went completely perfect with all those styles of music, whether it be death metal, black metal, new metal. Like, let's face it, man. Like, you can tell when Joey is on a track. You go, I know that drumming from anywhere. I know that style. That sound is Joey. You know, he's one of those rare few musicians where you go, I know who's playing right now.
100%,
and that
100%.
is a true compliment to any musician when you can be defined just by hearing, like, hang on a minute, that's that person. I know who that is just by that sound. Like,
the style, the grooves, and also the sound of the drum kit as well. He always had those really clicky bass drums. Yeah.
Especially in the Subliminal, he had that defined, like, the snare drum sound in that album in particular.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking of snare drums, we've got my actual my Pearl Joey Jordison signature snare drum for people that are watching right now. Got to purchase that when I was probably 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. I'll never get rid of that too. Great sounding snare drum. Just from being a big fan, I had to have that as part of the Slipknot collection.
Mate, that was your prized possession.
Yeah.
For a while. Funny, like you playing the drums going up, Chris. I remember you were a lot better than blast beats than me. Hence why your wrists are probably fucked. But Joey
can't blast that much anymore.
You know, like Joey did a lot of blasting and
that's how he paints these days.
Yeah.
Bring but, carbon tunnel.
That just goes to show his style influenced your playing. You know, same with me with his double kick. I loved the double kick, and I'll probably started playing double kick because of Joey Jordison.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
It's just funny, you know.
Should we look up that the Disaster Pieces drum solo?
Yeah, why not?
Let's look it up.
I'm honoured to say that we got to see Joey do that drum solo twice, spinning up and, you know, going up on the platform and then spinning around with the
big turntable.
Yep. And the actual platform that he played on was the Slipknot Star, which is really cool, and that lit up and all that sort of shit.
That's Disaster Pieces, yep.
This song is called Disaster Piece.
Here we go.
Mate, I used to watch this so much.
Here's a bit of a fun teenage Chris fucking fact for you.
I can't hear you, London. Make some
We'll be right back with this after this. This isn't the drum solo, by the way. This is Disaster Piece.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
This is actual song.
Disaster Piece.
Why are you looking for that? I'll jump into this
what was your
old
story?
fucking memory. This is when I had my long hair and I was like between 17 and 18. I'd get home from work, have
Skinny
a shower.
Chris.
Yeah, anorexic me.
Sorry.
I'd get out the shower and I'd crank Slipknot 9.0 live, and I would literally windmill till my hair was dry. That was a daily routine for me. It's silly, but that's how metal I was. There you go.
No, so it's not that one. Go up.
That one.
There's quads. Praise Lord Joey Jordison.
So good. So good.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. I used to watch that religiously. I remember whacking on Disaster Pieces probably every weekend. And Mum would
whacking off to Disaster Pieces.
That's what I thought. Whacking off to Disaster Pieces.
Probably a bit of that too. Let's be honest. Nah. Watching Disaster Pieces most weekends, and Mum would just walk in my room and say, "What the are you watching?"
Brett's having happy time again.
Get out, Mom.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Right there, baby. Disaster Pieces. That was a weekly watch, that's for sure.
Here's a question for you. Ray, I'll start with you. When was the first time you heard Slipknot? What was the first Slipknot song that you heard? If you can remember back that far.
I don't know what year it was. It might have been like 2007, 2008 maybe, when we were year 7, maybe year 7, maybe year 8. Wait, no, that would have been 7.
Right.
No.
2002.
No, 2007 is when we graduated. Fuck
2003
me.
we started high school.
Math is good.
Yeah, probably about 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Duality.
Yeah.
That was the first song I heard. And that song, I actually still remember, like watching like Rage, and stuff like that. And
Rage. I had to do it. Sorry. Proceed.
I remember watching that and actually seeing, they'd play like Follow the Leaders, Korn, and they'd be playing Freak on a Leash. And I remember that the first time.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, but I remember seeing Freak on a Leash specifically, and I was like, oh, I'll never listen to that music. That's crazy. Like that's yeah. And then
you started playing.
A couple of years
like
later,
Filthy, mate. Come on.
I started. Yeah, I saw Duality, and I was like, okay, cool. I got into Korn, and that was my entry into like the whole new metal kind of thing. But yeah, Duality was my favorite at the time. Just seeing, okay, wow, holy shit, like these guys are brutal, but there's a groove to it. It's not fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was subliminal, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so they were a bit more melodic.
And I think at the time as well, because of Duality as well, like you look at the video clip for that, it's very angsty, kind of like everybody get together and let out your aggression together, hit some kegs,
destroying a house.
Yeah, destroy a house, just that real kind of let it out. And that was like that time of, us turning into men kind of thing, where we'd probably be a little frustrated and feel a little bit
I like this song.
A bit of built up frustration, do you think?
Yeah.
As a young teenager.
Yeah, not all of us had Disaster Pieces and Happy Time Bread to let out our frustrations.
Cool as a cucumber, baby.
What were you doing?
You're not supposed to.
Get out! Oh, shit.
Oh,
Brett, what about you, man? What was the first Slipknot song you heard? Or the first time you listened to
Did you just say Lipsnot?
Lipsnot.
Love that meme. Yeah, exactly the same as Ray. So, year 8.
Ow!
Year 8.
Break my fucking finger.
Year 8.
Number 8.
We'll get into the muso scene when we'll 13, 14.
Yeah.
And 12, 13. And yeah, Ray, I remember lunchtime, gave me a CD and it just said metal on it. So, okay. And Ray's like, listen to some of this stuff.
It's just 70 minutes of...
It's like a burnt LimeWire special, was it?
It was.
Gives his car a virus when he slides into the CD.
Check out this CD, man. It's got some wicked songs on it.
I wasn't driving then.
You just press play on this CD, Ray gives you goes, I did not have
sexual relations with that woman. Thank you, LimeWire. And for the weird people that use FrostWire, who the fuck did that shit?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Raymond gave me a burnt CD called Metal. And the very first track on that CD, track 1, was same as Ray, Duality, Slipknot. That was probably the song that actually got me into heavy metal, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Followed by Korn's, what's that song called? You know the one.
Probably Freak on a Leash, no.
No.
Not Blind.
No.
Falling Away From Me.
Falling Away From Me. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 songs that got me into metal music. But yeah, Raymond gave me that CD, Duality, track 1.
I see the link. I see the link now. The Falling Away From Me video clip is a kid running away from home. He's getting the shit beat out of him. And then the Duality video clip is a whole bunch of people running towards a house and destroying it. Falling Away From Me came first. Recruited. Came back and killed. That's my theory. Thanks for attending my TED Talk.
I'm so lost.
Well, did you know that the Falling Away From Me video clip is a follow-up to the Freak on a Leash video clip?
Yes, we all know that, Chris.
We're not here to talk about Korn.
Not today.
Yeah, so Duality for me, bro. It was it was a funny CD. Hey, I remember specifically Duality.
Specifically.
Track 2, Bodies on the Floor, Drowning Pool.
Oh god. Wrestling.
I think it had a bit of Disturbed on there, a bit of Korn.
Yeah.
But my favourite track on that lovely burnt CD you gave me, Ray, was Duality, the first one. Yep.
Yeah.
Duality.
What about you, Chris?
For me, I remember seeing like pictures of them, probably like early year 8, and I was like, I don't know about these guys, And then actually giving them a chance. I was in art class, and we all got to bring our Discmans in and listen to music. The teacher would let us do that, and Ashley Smythe had the first Slipknot CD, and he goes, "Oh, just give it a listen." I'm like, all right, I'll give Slipknot a go. And I put it on, and the first song that was playing on there was Eyeless. And I heard that play, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, I've been missing out this whole time. And it was from then, I'm like, I think I got him to burn me the first album and then the Iowa album, and I was hooked. And then obviously Subliminal Versus came out in 2004, and then I was a full blown fucking maggot by then. So. As we all were.
I'm sorry, all I'm giggling at is
What?
everybody's there with their headphones on. Chris has got his little Discman. He's listening to his music, whatever's on there at that time. Ashley Smythe is sitting next to him listening to Slipknot. He goes, "Oh, Chris, here, have a listen to this. Just give it a shot," kind of thing. He swaps headphones over with Chris, and it's like, he's like, "Holy shit, I've been missing out this whole time. Oh, can you make me a copy?" Ash is like, "Yeah, sure, man." He goes, "All right, cool. Well, give me back your headphones." Chris puts back his headphones on. I'm a Barbie girl.
Nothing wrong with a bit of Aqua, mate. Come on.
Aqua.
Don't they do like intense dubstep these days?
Don't know.
Pretty sure they do.
Really?
Fun fact. Yeah, Google it.
Yeah,
I wrote down
Jones.
some questions. I think, let me bring one of them up.
You brought some questions.
I did.
Hit me.
How did Joey influence you as a drummer, Chris? Sorry, Ray.
Oh, that's all right.
Where do I start, man? Just for one was obviously the style and the sound of his playing. Like the way he moved around the drum kit, you could like I said earlier before, you know when Joey is playing on a track, no matter if it's with Slipknot or whoever, you just know. Just the sound of the snare drum too. Like I wanted my snare drum to sound like his. I wanted to get the same cymbals. I actually have some of Joey Jordison's signature pasty cymbals, the white ones, that came out during the Subliminal era, and of course the snare drum. So, what was the question again? Of what influenced me, or was it how?
How did it influence you as a drummer?
How? Oh god, yeah, just his style, man. I wanted to replicate the way he played, play as fast as what he could, like especially his quads.
Yeah,
me and you have been very influenced by just the quad roll, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, like you know, like
left, right, on the feet.
Yeah, it's like
left, right on the feet, left, right on the hands.
As you would have heard from the drum solo, there was a lot of quads in that solo. So yeah, just the way he played looked so cool as well, and he was so tight and very, very focused as well, if that makes any sense, and very aggressive, especially live.
Before we started branching off into, you know, metal music outside of Korn, Slipknot, you know, you'd think Joey was the fastest drummer in the world, and he definitely isn't. There's a lot more drummers that are so much quicker than Joey.
It's a different age now, but back then.
Then, he was. To us anyways.
Yeah, there weren't that many mainstream heavy metal drummers that was so prominent in the realm of like, off the top of your head, Joey Jordison's like one of the fastest drummers ever.
Yeah.
At the time, he probably was, you know, well.
And now you've got like 5-year-olds that can play along to this stuff. I'm like, how is this possible? But but going back to the same question you asked before, not only just his drumming style, but just the way he dressed and like having the long hair, I took all that on as well.
Like piercing.
The high socks with the Adidas shoes and
actually,
all that.
Ray, I think I remember a bit of mascara going on.
Me?
No, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Like, get fucked. These eyelashes are natural.
I never went as far as wearing makeup.
No.
I did get my labret, whatever you call it, pierced.
Because
Travis Barker and Joey Jordison had it done, so I'm like, that looks really cool. Like, I'll get that done too. You were with me when I got that done, actually.
I was, and your little brother thought it was fake when he was, what, 7? Jake? It's fake!
Mum's like, that's not real. I'm like, yeah, it is. And of all things I brought home to eat was McDonald's, and I couldn't eat a quarter pounder because it hurt so bad.
And that's how it started.
Mate, your McDonald's addiction.
Would you like a refill in your McDonald's glass?
I would actually. No, I'll wait. It's all good.
But yeah, how about you, Brett? How did Joey Jordison influence you?
He did.
Great answer.
Yeah. Moving on. No, like you think I would have thought about this a bit more, being my question, but same as you, man. Like his sound, his speed. You know, at that time of our lives, we thought he was the quickest drummer in the world. So, you know, I want to be the quickest drummer in the world like Joey. But mainly his double kicks. As I said before, I wouldn't have got a double kick if it wasn't for listening to Slipknot. Yeah, listening to Joey drum. I was obsessed with the double kick, you know, to the fact that I thought that was the only thing that made a good drummer was being fast on your double kick.
It's all about the speed, nothing else.
Yeah. But he was my favorite drummer for years. And I'm still kind of in shock, like all of us here, that he's gone.
Yeah.
Here's a random question on the topic of drumming as well. If you could give or for all of us really, your top, say, 5 or top 3 to 5 drummers that you've always looked up to or thought were really great. You want to start, Brett, or?
Oh, shit, okay. Yeah,
Or do
easy.
you want me to come back to you?
No, Travis Barker, Joey Jordison, and Mike Portnoy for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good answers, man. What about you, Ray? What would you say?
I'm not a drummer.
Yeah,
but
No,
anyways.
but like, from a...
yeah, okay, yeah, I know.
Okay, from a non-drummer
yeah.
perspective, yeah.
Well, me being, I guess, now a subpar.
Hey, you're part of the
bass
rhythm
player.
section, baby.
Yeah, I know. Exactly right. I have to work very closely with the drummer. Definitely Joey was definitely one of them as well. And that's one thing, just to go on a little side tangent, obviously, Joey's not the first person of Slipknot to leave this world,
Yeah.
this realm.
True.
Paul Gray left a couple of years ago as well.
The king.
Yeah, rest his soul. But even for him, like I felt maybe he was a little bit. If you were in the bass community, you kind of like obviously and a little bit deeper into understanding different bass players.
He was
and,
highly
like, the
respected,
purpose.
man.
He was highly respected, but outside of that, like no one really gave two shits about him because he played with a pick, and it was pretty. Like his bass lines were not super over the top or anything like that.
Still groovy
but like
as
when you
fuck,
listen
though.
to them, they were groovy. They stuck so tightly with Joey and just the beat, the drums, and just made sure that it was doing what it had to do in terms of like the foundation of the song, you know.
Definitely. I agree 100%.
So yeah, so from my angle, that's what I'm looking at. So yeah, definitely Joey, Mike Portnoy as well. Thirdly, who would I say? I definitely have one.
That guy.
If you don't know the name, we might know it.
The band.
Band.
No, I'm trying to think of who actually.
Oh, sorry.
okay.
That's the moment. I'm going on a limb here very quickly and not thinking about it deep enough. I'd probably say David Severa.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely up there for Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for telling mine, Ray.
Yeah. I think for me, if I had to break it down, like maybe within top 5 or 3, I would have to say probably like drummers like Stuart Copeland from The Police. I've always loved his style, very very intricate, and he brought the element of like jazz, fusion, reggae, and rock all into sort of one. It was really really cool. John Carell. I always looked up to him in like my years of like 18 and 19. He played from the band. He played for the band. The Number 12 Looks Like You and Horse the Band.
Yep.
Very, very intricate jazz fusion, death metal, all into one. Like
I know who your third is.
Who's that?
Lars Ulrich.
Get the See what you made me do.
Just a joke.
No, all jokes aside, like I do respect Lars Ulrich, but I'm not a huge fan.
No.
So John Carell, he's definitely a huge influence, or was a huge influence on my drumming back then. Just and especially the sound of his drum kit, absolutely crisp, love it. Top 3 definitely. Travis Barker he means a hell of a lot to me. Always has. Like,
Took me a lot later in life to realise. I know you, and to jump on the Blink-182 wagon for me as well, because growing up, sorry to cut you off, Chris.
No, you're right.
Growing up, I was so focused on metal. There's no other music I like. You know, you eventually grow up and branch out and realise the beautiful genres out there. But I know you guys were definitely a fan of Blink before I was. So my love for Travis came a lot later in life. But as I said, he's in my top 3 now. So sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, like, and then Joey, and he obviously fucking huge influence. And David Silvera, you know, he'll probably go down as my number 1. Like, it's hard to say. Like, him and Joey were like pretty much at tie, but if I had to choose between the two of them, it'd probably be David Silvera, because that's where it started for me. You know, was Korn, yeah. But Joey is a god, man, and he's up there with Paul now, man. And God knows what they're jamming. They're probably jamming to old Slipknot songs together.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the gods of metal, man.
100%.
And he won a Gods of Metal award a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Gets really emotional.
He does, man. That if anyone's got the time to go check that out, just go type in Joey Jordison Gods of Metal Award, and he kind of explains
Let's have a look.
why he had to leave or why he wasn't in Slipknot anymore. he kind of delves into that a little bit. He had a really, really horrible medical condition. It was a form of MS that he had.
Try
There's
a tribute video that cuts it all down, Ray, which will probably be better to watch because it's just got the speech in there.
This is the first time I stepped on stage in a long time. I'm glad to be here. You guys all look beautiful. Thank you for being here and supporting this magazine, supporting this movement, supporting the metal. I'm gonna get out of here now. Enough tears are fucking falling. Let's fucking rock. Let's go back to the fucking metal. Thank you so much for indulging my fucking life. Thank you. Cheers.
What an absolute legend.
Hail Joey Jordison, man. That was hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, it's quite emotional, isn't it?
It's so awesome, though, man. Like, he just lives and breathes metal, man. You can see the passion, like,
Oh god, yeah.
that's his life, man, and lived and breathed it.
Not
till the
even
day
in the
went out.
sense of like, I guess for for people that don't know what it's like to not understand, but I guess people who don't like metal, you know, for instance, it's just maybe not their taste or something like that. There's a part to it that's not. It's not just about like fucking headbanging, long hair, Satanism, if that's what you think is associated with it, or anything like that, or just aggression or anything like that. Yeah. Part of the culture is aggression. It's about getting the aggression out, so you don't do some fucked up, stupid shit.
It's a type of music, man. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's the same as country, pop, hip hop,
everything. But there's a whole community to it as well. Like I think, and I strongly believe that like it's probably one of the most peaceful communities compared to like not talking shit about other genres or anything like that, but like you've got like the rap community, they're always talking shit about each other, they're always ragging on each other, and then for some reason part of your certification to be in the rap community is to own a fucking gun and shoot someone. Like,
not all aspects of hip hop, but there
no,
are
but what I mean is it's a big
back in the day, yeah.
Gangster
back in the day,
rap
but it's
sort of
even
stuff.
still like in a lot of songs it's still
maybe
talked
Jake
about.
Jake can clear this up for us because he's
Maybe,
a hip hop
yeah.
guy. But I see what Ray's saying in the
You're
fact
right.
that
I turned 31 just the other day, so I'm old as fuck, so that's probably why I'm talking like this.
but what you're saying is about the talking trash part.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's negativity there, like where they're talking shit about it. It's like when you listen to the lyrics and metal and stuff like that, like unless of course like you're listening to something that's a little bit more morbid, or like it isn't like the more you listen to the lyrics of like more those morbidy kind of songs, so you start to realize more. It's more about the like storytelling. They're not really talking about like doing it to someone,
talking about it or talking about getting through
it's
it.
like it's some medieval weird shit or some sci-fi crap. That's where the dark shit gets into. It's not about, hey, I went and met a guy called Bob and then blah 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 blah. Like they're not actually talking about any particular human being. But like metal, it's more about that storytelling or something like that. Like, and I've always found most of the songs that I really get into, and you guys have seen this as well. Like, no matter what kind of thing I'm going through, I'm sure you guys do as 12 as well. There's a song that leads you down that path, whether it's a really nice song or it's a fucking angry song where you want to rip some shit apart and kick some walls down,
or a PB song.
Yeah, exactly right.
My favourite song at the moment.
What is it?
Is pardon me, Crushed by Parkway Drive. I've really jumped on the Parkway Drive train again. I've watched the. Have you watched the Viva La Underdogs on Netflix yet?
No.
It's their newest documentary. They're a self-managed band, man.
Yeah.
They do everything themselves.
They've stood the testament of time. They're still going.
Dude, like
strong,
they want to be the next. Yeah, that's right. The Metallicas of the world, the Slayers of the world. They're all getting older.
Well, they're pretty much like pretty much like new. Metalcore kings, aren't they? Really, they've been there since the beginning of metalcore.
They've
almost
gone for so long, and that's what they want to be. They want to be the new Metallica. They want to headline these shows because those guys are getting older now. Not going to be around forever. Who's going to step up and be the next lot? Slipknot is still there, which is cool. But for metal, Parkway Drive's getting up there. Sorry to
no, that's
topic,
cool.
But
like this is like exactly it. We obviously got into this episode to talk a little bit about
it's a community.
Joey, but now like this has kind of led more into like we've looked at his acceptance speech for the award, and that's led us to talk about a little bit more about what metal is, which is kind of what he stood for.
2016, that was that award.
Metal
5 6 years ago.
is a massive community, and you kind of touched on that before, Ray. Like where like say for example, you go to a metal festival or you go to a big, like big day event where you're there and there's all metal lineups. You'll find that you'll jump into the crowd and everyone's there. They're excited. They're all happy. There's not really much aggression.
No.
If someone falls over in the
pick
crowd,
you up.
they're happy to pick you back up and be like, "Yeah, let's keep doing this." Like,
someone wants
I'm
to get-
so excited to see my favorite bands. Like,
You see people get quite intimidated and scared, and I'm not comfortable here. You lift the people out, and they crowd surf over the thing. People understand that.
Yeah.
like
in the metal community.
it's a sense of love and community. Like everyone's here for the same reason, and they want to share it with people. And I've always found that, like maybe going to like the old Soundwave festivals, everyone was just so in tune with the vibe going on and excitement, and we're all here to experience the same thing, and let's share it together. And you could see people like, passing joints around in the crowd, or that's just grabbing a hold of someone like that you don't even know and singing along to a chorus and jumping.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the metal community, man.
I want to touch on this a bit as well, because
bring it on, Brett. Tell us.
I've been to heaps of different concerts, heaps of different genres of music.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, I saw the Roger Waters tour.
The Wall?
No, the one after that. Can't remember what it was called.
Wasn't the Dark Side tribute, was it?
No.
Okay.
It was something else. But Roger Waters toured, and that's a real chill vibe. You sit in your chair, you appreciate the music, you watch it. It's cool. From Faith No More to, I could go on and on to jazz concerts to, out of all the genres of music I've watched live and all the bands, nothing gets me more pumped than a metal concert. It's different
hands
to
down.
everything else. Yeah, especially if you're on the floor and you're jumping, as you said, jumping to the music, headbanging, screaming your lungs out. You can't do that at a pop concert. You can't do that at a fucking Katy Perry concert or whatever. It's
You
not
probably
this-
can, but it's not the same sort of vibe.
Is
you
it
know
because
what
is it because
You
we
look
like
that funny.
Is it because we like metal and am I being biased right now, or because I've been to he's the poppiest. I've been to an Ed Sheeran concert. You don't get that feeling at an Ed Sheeran concert that you
different
do.
vibe, man. Different
At a
time,
Slipknot
different style
concert,
of music.
mate.
Oh, Slipknot, yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. But you compare the two.
Yeah, completely different.
And I know
in certain
we're-
aspects, yes.
We're a part of the metal community and we like heavy metal, but to me, you can't beat a Slipknot versus the Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. I
You know what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're trying to say. It's like, I think it's more in case it's that's what cannot beat you, what you can't beat for you.
Yeah.
I know people that would go to a Slipknot concert and absolutely want to rip their ears off, probably, and they would rather go to an Ed Sheeran concert or.
Trust me, I've seen Ed Sheeran 3 times live. I think he's fucking awesome. So,
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, but like there's people that would really hate that type of music, and that's totally fine. That's each to their own.
Yeah.
I'd probably do the same at a country music concert. I'd rip my ears off.
I like country music. I do.
You're old.
I like all sorts.
Oh,
man.
but
Like all of us.
it's appreciation to what sounds good. It's not about the categories or anything like that anymore. You like that song? That's a country song,
what
So
touches you really?
Yeah,
musically.
exactly. But I understand what you're saying. It's like nothing quite beats it in terms of a metal concert hyping you up. To get that, like, your adrenaline pumping and you're just like, ready to go. You don't get that at other concerts.
Yeah.
Not as much as what you would at a Slipknot concert. I mean, I've seen Slipknot twice. The first time we went, we were 18 at the Robinson Pavilion in Claremont, man, and that was fucking nuts, man.
It was nuts.
It was so good. It
Yeah.
was so good from start to finish.
Hey,
They're
Chris.
very theatrical live too.
They are very theatrical.
Their
And
stage present and stage show was just unbeatable. Like,
we're lucky enough to grow up with them, for one. Mm-hmm. 2, to see Joey Jordison
and Paul,
and Paul Gray alive.
the original
Wow.
9, yeah.
The original 9, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
a virtue, man.
And to see Joey do his drum solo spinning around on the drum riser, it's just, man, yeah.
One of my questions I was thinking about asking you guys was, we're influenced by these people. We've never met them personally. We never sat down and had a conversation with them. So we don't know what they're like really.
You feel like we've known him our whole lives.
Yeah, and we see videos of them and we can make what's the word I'm looking for?
The judgment almost.
A judgment, a persuasion. Not persuasion.
Perspective.
Perspective. Yeah.
Of what they're like, what they are like as a person.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask, what do you think Joey was like? Because seeing that, there's another video on YouTube that he's playing sick on acoustic guitar for his fans.
I think
it
he's,
sick?
like I mentioned before, he's just 100% in with the metal itself.
Oh, yeah.
I think he would have been an absolute perfectionist when it come to getting the right sound.
Yeah.
Completely 100% loyalist.
Yep. Is that a word?
Yeah, 100%. All I can say, he would have been 100% in all of it, in all aspects of it.
Half-ass it.
It would be 100% in the recording, the live act, everything, man.
As he's seen on his award speech, he gets very emotional, and whether that's to do with his illness that he overcame. But a lot of videos I've seen where he's with his fans, he's very emotional. He's very thankful, and that to me, looking at that, not knowing who he is personally, to me, I take that as he's a very genuine, loving person, and it's such a shame that he's gone. But he comes. You see other musicians, celebrities, whatever, that just, well, they say don't meet your heroes. That you're watching videos and you're like, I don't think you're genuine, and I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. And Joey, watching videos of him, he seems very genuine and loving, and he loves his fans, man.
It's raining.
It's raining.
Yeah.
It's bucketing down right now again.
Is that Joey? Or what?
We've had 4 weeks straight of rain, I think, today.
We have.
Shit.
It's been nuts. Yeah.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Like, we've never met him. We don't know what he is like behind closed doors or anything like that.
No.
Which brings up an interesting point that, maybe we shouldn't tangent down for this particular episode, but it is one of those things where it's like, we can idolize whoever we want to idolize, at the end of the day. What they were like behind closed doors, what they may have done in the past or anything like that. We live in a day and age now where that kind of shit still gets brought up. If they done something before they got famous, it can get brought up when they're famous to really knock them
Cancel
down a peg,
culture,
Cancel culture.
And then it kind of, even though you jumped on the bandwagon of idolizing that person as a hero or anything like that, and that puts you in a position that, like, if you still support that person, even though you went into it without the knowledge of any shitty behavior they had or decisions they had prior to that, you now get attacked as well, because it's all about you're either with us or you're against us kind of thing as well. So I think
that's just the world in general.
That's the
moment,
world. That's
man.
where it is right now. And this is my personal opinion. I'm not attacking anyone. I don't agree with that, because yes, if someone's done something shitty, but if they're not doing that shitty thing anymore, and they sincerely bring up and do everything they can to rectify it, even though it can never fully fix a situation in certain scenarios.
Yep.
It shouldn't stop you from, idolizing that person, because you got to also look at what good did that person bring as well. Now, in his case as well, there's nothing that's kind of been out there that said that he's done anything or he's or anything like that. So I think, in the purest sense, just like you said, Chris, like, he's pure, he's 100%, maybe a bit of a perfectionist, but in the right way.
Yeah.
For his craft, for his art, for his life, for what he was doing, kind of thing. And like, I think for him, we grew up in the era where we grew up with them as idols and musicians and massive influences. They grew up in the era where it was like the most richest, most blood and boned soil for them to create music like this, a very inspirational time where they were enabled to. It was an
era where you could still be, there was still room for originality to be, made, or original music to be made. Like, it's very hard these days.
Yeah.
But back then, I'm going to put it out there, Slipknot defined a generation pretty much, you know what I mean? They're up there.
The maggots.
The maggots, yeah. I'm a maggot. I'll be a maggot for life. I don't care what anyone says. So. Yeah.
No, but like what I was saying is that, they grew up in a time where it was very easy for them to, maybe not easy, they would have had to still work their butts off.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But there was not like a million other people doing the same goddamn thing.
No.
They just shaped their own way and done it themselves.
And not only that, but they proved that people that come from towns and places where there's nothing
can do something
big and change the world almost, and they fucking done that.
You hear how hard they had to work for it, and the fact that they were so different. You want to see my face? No, I'm going to wear this mask. You want to? They got the barcodes, they got the numbers. Corey says it better, but they were the only ones doing that at the time. I think they inspired a lot of people to do that, like Mushroom Head and
Mudvayne,
all that type of stuff, put the makeup on. But
yeah,
they were the one of the first, if not the first. And that's, they got noticed and they're still going today. Who would have thought, looking at those guys, the clown mask on and a bloody motorbike helmet with spikes.
Yeah.
That they would still be going strong.
And they still-
2021.
Yeah. I think
And they
a
are.
big part of it is like it's not just their music or anything like that, but because, like I was saying before, they grew up in a time where I think this is the point I was actually trying to get actually before I went on a tangent. They had a time where like the soil that they were able to create the fruits of their labor with was incredibly rich. They had all the opportunity there, and they went with it. And they put their art, their best foot forward. They worked their asses off, and then they got to a point like it just so happened we were the next generation there to see the fruits of their labor and really resonate with it.
Yeah.
And they were receptive to that as well.
Yeah.
So they kind of created, I guess, from where they were coming from, because obviously they're older than us.
Yeah.
They created an environment where people like us in the generation we grew up in felt safe, felt like it was somewhere where to belong, which is why they had like, I guess you could call it not a cult following, but it was a following. It was a massive following.
They've called it a cult, man. They've called it a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're not hurting anyone, you're not causing harm to anyone in or outside of it, or you're not trying to force anyone to jump on board or anything like that, there's no problem with that. Like, call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. Call it a group, call it a fucking football club. Who gives a shit? But at the end of the day, like, they created a safe space where people like us, which was a time where a lot of people were like, who the fuck am I? Like, didn't know who they were, could jump into something and feel like it didn't matter.
I 100% agree with that, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
Definitely.
Oh, that's very cool.
One of the things I was thinking about when thinking about Joey was like, Joey/Slipknot. What was one of the most influential albums that released, and what was one of my favorite Joey grooves?
Oh, good question. Good
Yeah,
question.
I think it was a good question. Thank you.
That's why you wrote it down.
That's why I wrote it down. And to me personally, and I know it's bang on when we got involved with Slipknot, was Subliminal.
Subliminal Verses. It'd probably have to be my favorite album too, I think. Yeah.
Vermilion hits you right in the feels for one.
God, yeah.
Speaking of Vermilion, I just want to bring this up. I remember sitting in social studies class with you. We were probably 14. And me and you just started singing Vermilion Part 2. We're like, people were thinking, what the fuck are these guys singing? And we're like, me and you were just like in the zone, just harmonizing together and just singing it because we love that song. It's a part 1
Beautiful
and part
song.
2, but I think we're singing part 2.
Yep.
Which is the acoustic sort of version with the piano.
Should we listen to it?
Great
Bring
song.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Part 1 is incredible as well. Like, I think Vermilion Part 1 is like holds a true essence of the Subliminal album right there. Just the versatility of the album.
There's just something beautiful about part 2 though, with the acoustics.
Yeah.
I'll probably
There's a video-
I'll probably listen to part 2 more than part 1 these days.
Yeah.
It's a
11 years ago.
I know, man.
It's incredible.
Fucking hell. How old were we 11 years ago, Ray?
20.
20 years old. Yeah, okay.
This is older than 11 years.
It's older than that.
Is it?
This would have come out probably 05, 06. This video,
We were listening to this in high school, bro.
yeah, this would have.
It's probably the person that's uploaded
The video
it.
probably came out in maybe like 05, maybe 04. Because the album came out 04.
Look at these
didn't it?
comments.
Yep.
Look at these comments. Rest in peace, Joey. This is my favorite song.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Every video clip is going to be covered with their...
Joey Jordison and RIPs.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show how influential a person he was. Like when the day he passed, and I got quite teary in the car.
Yeah.
Me and Sam were driving to Cairo in the morning to Fremantle, and I'm just browsing my phone, and my sunnies on, and I'm just getting fucking teary because someone is very influential on your life and a big part of your life when all of your friends are saying RIP. Even people that aren't metal lovers are saying RIP.
Yeah.
Joey Jordison, that he made an impact.
Definitely, man. I was in the same boat. Like, I think it hit me pretty heavily as the day progressed and got into the late evening. I was, like you said, on my phone looking through Instagram and just like
So
all
many,
the
hey?
RIP, like all the messages. And there was one tribute video, and there was him saying his speech over the top of these pictures just coming on
I've
the
seen
screen.
the same one, yeah.
And I just, it really hit me, and I fucking broke down and started crying, just like thinking about it, like, and I'm just like, wow, I've lost one of my idols today. And it just, after all day listening to interviews, and I listened to 9.0 Live all day as well.
I was
and
listening to that today myself.
I think it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
It's
all day
funny,
thinking about
like,
it,
as I
and
said before, like watching my dad get upset over Steve Irwin when I was younger, and
now
It
you
didn't make
understand.
sense.
Peter Brock, I'm looking at him going, I don't even know these people. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then you get to that age, like, oh man,
Yeah.
fuck, that
These are
hurts.
your heroes, your idols.
Yeah,
now.
And I think as we get older, I know I found for myself, I'm becoming more of an emotional person, and I'm aware of that, and I'm completely comfortable with that and embrace that side of me now too. And I think more people should. Don't be afraid to be emotional, to cry, to get angry, not lose your shit, obviously, but like
express yourself.
Don't be afraid to express yourself, and that's okay. It's all right. And yeah, I just got super emotional thinking about it, and yeah, I had to cry myself, and yeah, it's human nature. We all feel these things, and mourning is definitely a big part of that. And and now we're rejoicing and telling stories and remembering things and sharing.
So
that's what it's all about. And I love that.
It's a positive
really cool.
about it, I guess, isn't it?
Play Vermilion, Part 2.
How good is Corey's voice, man?
Oh, this song especially, man. This video clip is so cool as well.
Yeah, it's creepy.
This is how Brett feels after a couple of beers.
Why me?
Well, normally by the end of a big night, you're wearing a dress just floating around in a field, aren't you? He doesn't know what to do.
It's a really strange film clip, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool,
Like
though.
someone almost bodiless and weightless, going
floating
up,
around.
up, and then like, it's just literally starts on the floor, goes up, has a bit of a float, comes back down. Like,
So what do you want me to do for this video clip? Like,
Well, the lyrics
you're
are
pretty much going to be a human kite, so...
Well, the lyrics are, I won't let this build up inside of me. The song's about having gas. It's going to be very windy.
may I please be excused?
To pee?
Yes.
Sure.
I second that.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'm the only one who has a decent,
Bladder.
strengthened bladder. The many times I wasn't allowed out of class to go pee.
You've learned to hold it.
No, there's just a big...
Must be those autoimmune diseases, eh?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, with our unpowerful powers combined.
We are diachrons.
It's like, diabetes!
Crohn's.
Health.
I work with a guy that's got type 1 diabetes.
The power isn't yours.
We've got diachrons because we're in the same office. So it's like this is an autoimmune disease office. Diachrons or Crohn's beatus. We don't know what's better.
Crohn's beatus. Diacron sounds pretty cool.
It does
That
sound cool,
like,
though.
like, what's your team name?
Diachrons.
What's your band name? The Diacrons.
Yeah, I can't really bring anything to that table besides dislocated kneecaps and a
Yeah.
broken hand.
Good memories, eh? Yeah. Speaking of memories, Raymond used to work at a print shop, and I had an awesome 1990 Corolla Seeker,
The red one.
the red one, hatchback. Had a big Milo tin for an exhaust. Had sports rims. You know, it was pretty cool.
I know where you're going with this.
I got the sports pedals on it. I got the sports gear stick. Love that car. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
I actually quite miss it. You know,
Good memories.
What were
Big
those?
Milo
What
tin
were-
exhaust.
Milo tin exhaust. Sorry to say that, Chris.
Milo tin exhaust.
What was that brand called? We all had the same brand. Or
Milo.
No, the seat covers, or like Rhino or Taurus or something like that.
It was the bull.
The bull symbol.
Yeah.
Because it was a red Corolla, yeah, and I had like the red pedals, the red gear stick, the red seat covers. I love that car. Your first car, you get quite emotionally attached. Had the big bloody subwoofer in the back.
Remember my Hyundai?
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking about my car, mate. We're talking about my car. Anyways, Raymond worked in a print shop, and I went to him. I said, "Oh, can you print me out a big bloody sticker for my car?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sure. What sticker?" The big Slipknot S. And
Tribal
was
S.
A big tribal S. I had it on the back of my Corolla. It was from top to bottom. Like it fit perfectly. The amount of people that saw that when I was driving and like would give me the devil horns was crazy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I felt like a bit of a rock star, to be honest. Like,
It's funny.
you know, what did we do? Bloody a late night at Carousel, late night shopping Thursday nights. We'd go there every time. I'd be driving out the car park and people would see the Slipknot S go, yeah. Pop it in the neutral. Milo tin blow going off. I'll put my hand out, you know.
You were so cool.
Probably
Brett.
smoking a dart because I was, you know, cool like that.
I remember
Yeah,
when we
memories.
used to travel in our cars, And back then, kids, we didn't have our Bluetooth connected to our phones playing music.
CD
We'd
library,
actually
baby.
have a CD library in our cars where we'd flick through and pick which CD we wanted to listen to.
Yeah, if you had to go on a long drive, it'd be like, oh, do you have enough songs like to last us the whole 2-hour drive?
Yes.
Flip down the sun visor. You tell me.
Dude, I never had one of those, eh? I had the big bloody
Yeah, the big
quad.
binder, yeah.
Quad binder.
Yeah, the PlayStation.
I always thought those those visor CD holders were quite fancy though. Like you see something, I'm like, ooh,
Nice.
ooh, what's that? Ooh.
I do have a memory.
Is that a So Fresh 2009?
I do have a memory of your car, actually, Brett. Bless you. Bless you. No more after that one.
dabbing.
You only get two. We'd be driving in your car and we'd be playing your CDs. All right, we're done with that one now, and you press eject and it wouldn't come out. You're like, for fuck's sake! So you'd sit, you hit the top of your dash, you go, and then all of a sudden the CD would go and come out. You're like, all right, what do you want to listen to next? But you had the big 12-inch fucking sub in the back,
Double.
and you only had two tweeters at the front. That was it. These poor little tweeters would be like, they get blasted to fuck.
You know what's funny as well, yeah? My subwoofer wasn't bolted to my boot. It was just freestanding. So it would move, right? It would move, and then the bass would cut out. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'd fucking drive fast and hit the brakes to shake the bass drum, and it'd come back on. Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember having my Milo tin, my big subbies, and I was working at Harvey Norman in the warehouse. I love putting stickers on boxes, fellas. And someone looked at my car and they looked at me and they go, "You're so 17 years old, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, mate.
yeah, mate. I'm 17.
He was told that up until he was 25.
Oh god.
I've got a sock on my
I
car
remember.
now.
Yeah, your first car was the station wagon.
Behind that. Oh, dude.
I remember filling that car
You know,
with
this
condoms.
is-
It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
That was the car that we developed the age-old saying, roundabout.
That is true. You were fucked in the back. Are we talking about Joey anymore, or are we talking about childhood memories here?
I wasn't literally fucked in the back. I was drunk in the back. That's
Got roofied.
The biggest memory I've got of Raymond's driving
it was
Going
terrible.
over curbs.
It was terrifying.
was not looking at his blind spot. Ever. Like, didn't you... It's the one thing you learn, Raymond.
On the way to gigs where we'd all be like trailing each other, following each other to a gig, and be like, just make sure you're not behind Ray because he might kill you or kill someone.
Ray was a fine driver, apart from not looking at his blind spot.
Yeah, good old days.
Whose car do you want to be
do you
in?
look at
Someone
your-
else's or mine?
Anyways, far out. Joey. So I've brought some of my CDs and DVDs over.
Yeah, the old Roadrunner United. That was a really cool CD. Joey was a captain.
Who'd you have? You had Rob from Machine Head, Heathy
Dino from
Trivium,
Fear Factory.
Dino from Fear Factory, and Joey from
Yeah.
Slipknot.
There's some pretty good songs on that album actually.
Oh,
A big
fuck
collaboration of old school, new school, and
I remember Joey's been
Artists.
quite light-hearted and
there was a couple of heavy ones. Like, there's a couple of death metal.
couple of heavy ones.
Yeah, there was a big death metal one they did on that. That was really cool. Yeah, just so many artists, like everyone on there. People from Killswitch, Cradle of Filth, you name it, man. Everyone was on there. Guys from Slipknot, Trivium.
They don't do things like that these days. Though.
No, I don't.
No.
I think they did maybe a version 2 of that, or
Did they?
volume 2, maybe.
Oh, I've got to hit that up.
But the first one was epic. I remember that came out. What year was it? Let's see, 05, I think it was.
Really? Well, I think it was a bit later than that.
No, I think it was. Yep, 2005.
Holy shit!
We were 15.
I remember when Trivium came out for the first time. Like those guys were pretty.
They're still
influential.
going.
Yeah,
Still going
I
strong.
know. They've just brought a new song out, The Court or whatever it's called. It's like a
Dunno.
mini movie. They were pretty big growing up.
The
Trivium.
Ascendancy album and the Crusade album was like our era growing
The
up. listening to
first
them.
concert I went to was Black Crusade.
Wow, what a night. That was a good night.
Machine Head, Trivium, and Arch
Enemy. Back when Angela Grosso was singing for them.
When
I remember, I have a vivid memory of being in the mosh pit not too far from the front of stage, and I'm headbanging like fuck. My hair's windmilling, I'm having a good time, and I have a long sleeve Trivium shirt that I bought from the merch stand wrapped around my neck, and all of a sudden someone's grabbed onto this shirt and they're yanking it and choking me in the middle of the pit. And I'm like, help me! And I turn around and it's Brett pulling it, trying to get to me. I'm like, get the fuck off me!
I'm tiny, man. Like being in the mosh was pretty
So little.
intimidating for me, you know. It's like when we saw Bring Me the Horizon HBF Stadium.
That was a good night.
3-4 years ago.
Longer
Chris
than that.
gets right to the front,
Longer
breaks
than
his
that.
ribs. I'm like, help me, and I ended up having to.
Jay gets a bloody lip, gets punched in the face.
Yeah, it was great. We're old.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Jake? He's like, yeah, I thought it was great.
Oh,
Sorry, he's
Jake
not
is
here right now. We love you, brother.
Ranger.
Oh,
I'm joking.
you can't talk. The lower half of your face is ringing. We got nothing but love for the Rangers. We love all you guys. I don't know where we're going with this.
Joey,
I don't know.
are we done?
Joey, I think we've pretty much
Said
said everything we want to say. I guess just to quickly sign off, I had an idea.
Oh dear.
All-time favorite song from each of us.
Yep.
And we'll do a quick 10-second little snippet at the end for everybody and link it through to
From Slipknot.
Slipknot.
That's a really hard one.
Easy one for me.
Oh, is it Vermilion?
It's not a competition.
No.
People
way.
equal shit.
Yes.
Nice.
Because they opened with that so much. Just go to the Disaster Pieces intro. Oh, don't say. Yeah, just go people equal shit. Disaster Pieces.
That's my PB song, which I've mentioned in a few previous pods.
I don't know. Joey's drumming in it's so cool. He's got like a mini solo with quads in the middle of it. I don't know. I just love that song. Yeah. That's the one.
Cool. Chris, what's yours?
I try to think about this for the last day or so, and I don't know if I can give you a favorite Slipknot song. I've got too many. Like,
Or just give him a top one.
You just give me a top one. It doesn't have to be the favorite.
oh God,
Snuff. Snuff's really cool.
that is a good song, but
Not Joey's. Joey was in the band then, wasn't he? Or was he?
Yeah, he was.
All Hope Is Gone?
no, I'll have to be an older one than that.
Snuff. That was Snuff.
No, it's not. Yeah, he was in stuff. He was.
That was All Hope Is Gone, isn't it?
That was the last album that he was on. Wow, this has got a sanity sticker on it. Fucking hell.
So he puts it down.
Dude, I had to go to my drum room, bloody get a big, massive tub out from my cupboard, heavy as fuck. I'm like, gotta find all my Slipknot CDs.
Yeah. Appreciate the effort.
Oh, yeah, no, all good.
I know this is too hard to pick one.
All right,
song.
Raymond, you go then, because Chris doesn't get one.
It's just okay. What are your top three? And I'll fucking pick one from it.
Slipknot song that you love.
There's
Fuck
people
me.
equal shit. We're already playing that one. Then you got two more.
Friggin' a leash.
All right, okay. One of the best breakdowns in Slipknot history would have to be from the song Disaster Piece. So I'll go Disaster Piece. Fuck it. For now. Whatever. It's too hard to pick a favorite song from Slipknot. I'm sorry.
Indecisive. Fuck.
Oh, where's mine
And
going?
during the subliminal era, like touring era, whenever this massive breakdown would come in, Corey Taylor, the singer, would do a front flip on the stage. It's
Oh, you're doing Left Behind, bro. Fucking love that song.
that's a good fucking
That
song.
is a wicked song.
Weird video clip. It's all like
Yeah.
sepia and red,
Sepia.
almost
Sepia.
like it's like a dark.
Yeah, I
like
know what you're talking about. That effect that we used to use before filters. were
Alrighty.
around.
cool.
Any final words before we jump into this, lads?
Man, I really want to watch before I forget video clip because I used to love that as well. But no, honestly,
We'll do that too.
it was a shock that one of our greatest idols has gone way too soon. 46.
way too soon. 46, man.
You know, we still don't really know how he died. They just said in his sleep. So whether it was to do with his MS or whatever, I just want to say, Joey, I know you don't know me for a bar of soap, but if you're listening, thank you so much for shaping me as a drummer and for all the music that you created for me to listen to. Like, I really do genuinely adore you as a human being and as a drummer, as a musician, as an artist. Rest in peace, my bro.
Rest in peace, Joey.
Chris, final words.
My final words, I just want to say respect and condolences to the band members and family members of Joey. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you have given to the metal fans of the world and to people of the world who love your music. And let the universe embrace you and take you back, man. You've given something to the universe, and the universe is going to give you something back too. We love you, Joey.
Raymond?
Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. Rest in blast beats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very sad to see you go. Obviously, music's not going to kind of be the same
No.
without your influence on it, but the influence that you have left on the music scene will live on. Like what you've created will not go anywhere. It's always going to be around. And I'm kind of, as sad as it is to see you go, it's also exciting to see now that which also kind of sucks that you're in the spotlight now again because of your passing, which is unfortunately
reasons,
one of the things that happens. But it will hopefully bring more inspiration to future drummers, future musicians as well, from your style and your influence and just what you brought to the metal scene as well. So rest in peace and condolences to the family, friends, band members, everybody.
Can we get a cheers for Joey?
One last thing quickly before
you only get one, Chris.
No, I'll get one more.
I was going to go cheers.
Are you sucking your own dick?
Self-fellatio.
You were doing that. That's Corey. Sorry to break it.
I know
to you.
it's still Slipknot. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Cheers, Joey.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Joey. To a metal god.
Metal God. Let's play some music, fellas.
Let's play some music.